Hello, welcome to Bronics Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about pretty much just the Conjuring 2.
Clues behind us.
Yeah, as a main thing, but also talking about how this film kind of ties in with the genre and all that kind of stuff. We're not doing a Halloween special this year, like a series of it, but this video kind of counts as that, I suppose. So we'll release this on Halloween itself. So
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Conjuring films. This was released pretty recently, wasn't it? Like just this month.
It came out in cinemas in July, I think. It didn't take too long to come out over here on Blu-ray.
Yeah, we were kind of discussing about whether we'd actually have it in time for Halloween, but I was actually kind of not too surprised that they got it out before Halloween because you want a horror film to be out for that sort of time.
True. Now, as far as horror film sequels go, I thought this was really good. In my opinion, I thought it topped the first one. Maybe I'm biased because I kind of have a bit more investment in the story that it's based on.
In some ways, I think I like some elements of the original slightly better than the sequel. Mainly, I think it also helped that it was all very new the first time it happened. The Conjuring 2, I did definitely like, but it hit a lot of the same kind of notes that the first one did. Like, you got the innocent kid's toy that turns out to be creepy, and a lot of it kind of felt there was this kind of certain similarity to it. Even the demonic nun this time round instead of the Annabelle doll like in the last one.
Following the similar kind of formula.
Yeah, it's like that. That's probably a better way of putting it. It's like a formula. So I don't really. It'd be like saying, "Oh, I really hate the new James Bond film." I mean, he gets gadgets and he goes out in his flash car and he does spy stuff.
That was what your sister.
Fucking boring all the time.
That was what your sister said. I seem to remember. That was an argument about the James Bond franchise. Yeah.
I mean, it's like you know what you're getting into, so why be upset about it.
Yeah. Now this is a kind of weird franchise because you've got like spin-offs. I mean, it's not totally unusual. You've got other franchises that do that as well. But the spin-offs of these, I'm not really going to waste my time with. I've heard Annabelle was shite.
Apparently it did alright, like money-wise, but I've not heard great things about Annabelle at all.
So I'm not bothered watching that one.
And to be honest, they kind of tell the entire story of Annabelle during The Conjuring, so
yeah,
why would you need to make another film without... I think they go completely off on its own thing with like a murder and a vengeful ghost and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the Annabelle story is pretty like straightforward. It's like these two women move into a flat, they get like this Raggedy Ann doll, they do like a Ouija board thing, and there's like this supposed ghost of a dead girl that wants to live with them, so they say alright, and then like weird shit starts happening all focused around the doll because it's been possessed by a demon. It wasn't actually a like little girl, that's a lie. And they pretty much like recreate that at the start of The Conjuring. They go through pretty much every point of that story, if you like. Because the actual Annabelle doll has nothing technically to do with the actual plot of The Conjuring.
Yeah, it was kind of like Amityville Horror, which was they did a film series of that. The Conjuring 2 kind of starts out with that, whereas the first film started out with Annabelle, and it kind of vaguely ties in.
Yeah, I mean, the films are based on a true story. I mean, not even getting into whether you believe in spirits and the supernatural or not. These things are certainly like exaggerated a lot. I mean, for example, the original Conjuring, the house in that and the family, Ed and Lorraine Warren tried to help them out. They didn't succeed. There's a book, I think it's House of Light, House of Darkness, or something along those lines. But that covers it's like apparently a pretty big book as well, and it covers all the like experiences in the house, and apparently the hauntings went on for decades, not just like, as it's shown in the film, just over like a month or two or whatever.
In the first Conjuring.
Yeah, the original Conjuring.
Yeah, because in this one, in the second one, the true story went on for a couple of years, I think, at most, 77 to 79 pretty much. But in this, it seems to take...
Mostly what was the guy's name? The bald guy.
Well,
the going bottled on top guy.
Oh, Maurice Gross. Just Gross, yeah.
Oh, Gross.
Yeah.
All right. He seems to have actually been a bit more of the main... I mean, Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved in this case, but they were kind of side people, really. I mean, they came and investigated some stuff, but he seemed to be the guy who was there throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, he does get a reasonable mention in this film, but he is a supporting character to Ed and Lorraine Warren. But then again, it's kind of the Ed and Lorraine Warren show, so, you know, without that, you'd...
Yeah, it's an American film
Yeah.
as well. If it had been a British film from scratch, I imagine it would have been more about him, but it would have been more kind of tricky to do that. Cause...
Then again, one thing I was going to say, when we like take a bit of the piss about it being a true story and all that, they do seem to stay pretty close to some elements of the law. For example, we've just been watching this episode of Strange But True that recounted the Enfield hauntings.
That was a like mid-90s sort of kind of like sightings show.
Yeah, kind of like paranormal show. They'd usually have like a case like the Enfield haunting, and they'd recreate parts of it with like reconstructions and stuff. And you originally said this to me, that it's like watching a really low budget version of The Conjuring, and then you watch The Conjuring.
It's you watch The Conjuring 2, then look on YouTube for Strange But True Enfield Poltergeist.
Because that's what we did. Because I didn't remember it. I was watching it again. And it was like, you know, it's like the bang, the mum comes in, the thing moves. It's like that is almost scene for scene what happens in the film. Just a ridiculously low like TV budget with like really bad like standing actors.
That scared the shit out of me when I watched it. It was 95. I remember it. It was during the half-term holidays. I was at school and I was staying up all night because we were going to watch all Rocky films. But that night I remember I'd been watching Strange But True, and it proper like shit me up. I can't even remember it. But it was Michael Aspel presenting that. Anyway, we make a point anyway about the show.
But yeah, like I said, there's actually scenes from the film that are almost directly taken from obviously their accounts of what happened. Like I said, this whole scene where things happen, the mother comes in and she's shouting like, "What the hell are you playing around at?" Doing all this stuff like making noise, you know. And they're like, "Mummy, it wasn't us. We didn't do it." And she's like, "What? I heard you." And then suddenly, like this chest of drawers just scoots across the room without knowing to be anywhere near it, and like knocks the door shut. And then it's like, "We're out of here," you know. Goodbye.
Yeah. And then the police go around, and then there's like
a WPC and like a male police officer, and
a chair kind of moved by itself. That was apparently officially logged by the police. I don't know how quite accurate that is, but it's in the film.
I mean, I don't think they were making that up because that is how the whole thing got started. Like there was a police report which led to...
that's got. I mean, it's the same with like UFOs and stuff. You know, like you had like Tony Dodd, who was a famous policeman, who saw a lot of stuff as well. So it kind of had. And then the media get involved from that point.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not saying whether supernatural is true or false, but like
we were
irrelevant.
There. We were there,
irrelevant.
So,
I mean, I do personally believe in like hauntings and stuff. There's enough anecdotal evidence that I at least entertain the.
Yeah, I've experienced stuff.
You know. But yeah, this was like I said, they obviously did go through the actual original testimony, like a lot of the methodology they did when they were investigating these cases and stuff like that. I mean, yes, it's like amped up for like Hollywood effectiveness, but ultimately it hits all the same notes. It's just kind of towards the end it goes off on its own little thing with like a big dramatic climax and like the demon known and stuff. It's forgivable.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is quite rare in like modern day horror films.
I mean, we were going to talk about like what we liked and disliked about horror films, and I will say I do like the Conjuring style of horror films.
Yeah.
A lot more than just say the random jump scares or the CGI bloodfest. I mean, I have zero interest in like CGI gore fests or like body horror or anything like Hostel or Saw or Human Centipede. Like stuff like that just doesn't interest me particularly. I'm not saying they're bad. Again, it's kind of like when we were talking about found footage last year or the year before. We're not saying like, oh well, my taste is better than yours because I don't like these.
It's your preference, isn't it?
Yeah, it's simply the same as that. Like I said about found footage, I don't like football films. That doesn't mean films about football are bad. It's just it's not something that interests me. Same with rom-coms. I don't like most rom-coms, but that doesn't mean rom-coms are shit. It just means
you've got a dick.
Yeah, well, to be fair, there's some good rom-coms that you know what I mean. It's just a matter of taste, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I do definitely like these aren't like there's not much gore in them. There's not much like jump scare. I mean, there are jump scares, but they're less ooga booga booga.
Yeah, they're kind of more earned. I think I don't mind jump scares if they're earned and if they're done in a creative way.
I mean, it builds up to it. There's tension, there's scary music and like atmosphere, and then you'll actually see something, like a hand like grab one of the girls like ah, and that it does make you jump because it is like a loud noise and a scary image, but it's kind of earned. It's it's not just like I'm back from the toilet. Oh, sorry, did I scare you?
It always fucking scares me when you come back from the toilet, you sweaty ass.
Don't even start with me, you rotten shithouse. Like, the best thing about this film is, like, not only just, like, the immersion of the film, like, the visuals, even the smell, like, the stench of rotten
4D.
flesh and death.
4D.
Oh, wait, no, that was just you, wasn't it?
We're on a high-protein diet, what can I say? But yeah, so, other things as well about this film that I liked. We're talking about jump scares, and I like the fact that, I think, from vague memory of the first film, it didn't end with a kind of like, it'll show you something creepy and then it pans away. There's a jump scare and it cuts to credits kind of thing. It's such a cliche, but these films kind of avoided that. I mean, there is a bit of a kind of like, it ends with like sort of a creepy sort of thing where it'll show you something and it cuts away, but it's not like so many of those films where you'll have like, it shows something creepy. And then a demon comes in front of the screen, and then, like I say, it cuts to credits. I think it's just lots of little things like that. It's like one example of many cliches they've kind of avoided. I mean, you can say some of the jump scares are cliche, like the bit where the Ed Warren goes into the tent. And I'm not going to go into the specifics in case you haven't seen it, but there's a jump scare there, and it's kind of cliche, but
you kind of
it's
knew
not
it was
full
coming.
of them. It's not
the
full
moment
of them.
I saw this little like TP style tent they've got set up for the kids to play in.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to be a one non-stop like thing for like creepy bloody moments. Why would you not take this down?
Yeah, it just on its own without even anything going on, it looks creepy at the end of the fucking corridor. It's like, why would you even have that in a house that isn't haunted, let alone...
I mean, I get, this place is supposed to be dirt poor, so whatever they can to amuse the kids, so fair enough on that. But it's like, if you're in a haunted house, the moment creepy shit starts, get rid of anything creepy that you can actually avoid,
And stuff was already going on with this tent. It's like, take the thing fucking down, for God's sake.
It's not like, oh, this is like this doll that we've had for generally, and it's like really poppy, we can't get rid of it. No, they could have taken this down. It would have taken 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They could have put it away, and that's one less thing for the ghost to use to scare the living shit out of them.
But, yeah, so in the actual, the film itself, it's kind of weird because Ed and Elaine... Lorraine. It's quite difficult. I'm not even forgetting the name. I know it. I just can't say it. The Warrens. They're not really in the film much for the first hour. I mean, it sort of starts out with them and it cuts away. There's a few little bits with them, but it's the majority of it follows the family. And I think a lot of like scary films are good like that because they're building up and you kind of invest in the characters before like stuff really starts to happen.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, the cost of that is you've got like a bit of a slow burning kind of thing, and it takes a while to get really started.
Then again, I think it works in this case because you've already got the character development from the first film that carries over.
Yeah.
Because there are quite a few... They're very subtle callbacks, but they are there to the previous film. I mean, at the end of Conjuring 2, you see him putting like the creepy kid's toy from the Enfield haunting into like the occult museum, which it's actually a thing they actually have with the Warrens. They have this occult museum. You can actually like take tours around it and see the actual Annabelle doll and stuff like that. But you actually see like on the same shelf there's the creepy like kid's toy from the original film, like the like music box thing they find, as well as of course you see Annabelle in a glass case where she always has been. Also things like the daughter shows up. She has a very small part in this film, much less than she had in the previous film. Ed and Lorraine Warren's daughter. I honestly can't remember her name. I'm not sure if they actually refer to her by name.
Can't remember. She's barely in this film anyway.
But again, she shows up and I was like, oh shit, yeah, they have a kid.
Yeah, because this film's set 7 years after the first one, isn't it? But yeah, so I mean, this story, this isn't really the first. This is the first film that they've done based on this, because like the Amityville Horror, which that was to do with the Warrens, wasn't it? And that was like an entire film series, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the distinct feeling they're not going to do Amityville, probably because Amityville's been done kind of to death.
Yeah, same reason why like with Spider-Man they kind of avoided doing like Norman Osborn because it's been done like before kind of thing and all that. So when you kind of covering the same ground, but they still kind of alluded to it because this film starts with a bit of that.
Like I say, I really like that start where it just like starts out in this like room and it like pulls back and then you realise like, well, this doesn't look much like England. What? Oh, I recognise those fucking windows. I know where this is supposed to be. Because they've got like the, like those like half, not even like, they're like quarter of a circle windows that look like eyes from the outside. So you know exactly where this house is because it's that iconic. You're like, shit, it's Amityville.
You recognise it just from the poster of Amityville Horror.
I think it's one of those almost like pop culture things.
What the hell is that?
I have been possessed.
He's like speaking in tongue now. That's definitely
I died here 7 years ago in this chair.
If you see the film, you'll get what he's talking about. I'll watch the Strange But True thing. But yeah, funnily enough, like I said, they haven't done this in a film before, but we talked about it 2 years ago, Ghost Watch, and that was clearly inspired by the Amityville. I'm going
the
on.
Enfield.
Yeah, I'm speaking in tongue now. The Enfield poltergeist, right down to lots of little things like the girl putting water in her mouth and like putting. I don't think they put tape over her mouth in this, but
they didn't do it in the film, but I think they actually did that for real. Because in the film, they've actually got a slightly creepier thing because like they insist like, oh, when I've got the stuff in my mouth, I don't want you to look at me, and he kind of blurs it out because you can only really see Ed Warren's face in profile like clearly, and the girl's very blurry, and as you watch it, you realise that's not the girl, you know. It actually looks like the old man.
Ultimate test. I'm going to try and say what I can't say. Ed and Elaine. Can't even say it. Ed and Lorraine Warren with water in my mouth. Ultimate test. Oh.
No, he failed. He's failed.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's very difficult to talk with water in your mouth. That's what I'm demonstrating. So that's what they do in the film. They put water in the little girl's mouth, and but there's still a voice coming out. And it's kind of cool because you can see Ed Warren. He's in focus. The little girl's kind of like over his shoulder because he's not looking at her, and she's out of focus. And then it's a very blurry image of she becomes like kind of morphs into like a blurry old man. Looks kind of like demonic. And
well, I mean, at the start, it's like pretty much the girl, but it's like a very clever effect because it's like by the time like the conversation gone on a bit, you're like, that's not a little girl sat behind him, that's an old guy. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah. It looks a lot
and
better.
Also, you can kind of see clearly enough to see that she hasn't spat the water out throughout this entire kind of thing.
Yeah. I think Buff and Topher did something very similar.
No.
But but like I was saying, they did a similar thing with Ghost Watch, the BBC special. Like it was Halloween '92. In fact, 25th anniversary. That's next year. We should do like an updated video next year, maybe for Halloween. I don't know. But shout out to Stephen Volk. He won't be watching this. The writer. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah, he's on.
Also, a small note from the person who commented on that video we did for. Yeah, Ghost Watch. You're talking out of your ass. It was scary. It's not scary looking back on it now. But there wouldn't have been the huge media kind of shitstorm about it if people weren't scared.
Yeah, well, let's just put in context. There's this TV special called Ghost Watch. It was kind of inspired, it seems inspired by the Enfield poltergeist. We did a review of it and somebody commented saying, this TV show was not scary, nobody was scared by it, which is factually wrong.
Yeah, it's like, you might not have been scared by it, in which case,
people
all power
were,
to you, although I'm a bit sceptical.
Many people were.
It's like, we both were as people, like people I knew at school, like you don't exactly go around to me and go, oh yeah, I nearly shat my cakes because that was that fucking scary. But I remember people I specifically went to school going around and going like, shit, that was bloody freaky, was that?
It was a massive controversy that because people were so scared, children and, well, mostly children, but adults as well, that thought it was real. I mean, we knew it wasn't real. I mean, something you can watch something, know it's not real, and still be scared by it. It's a stupid argument.
Mean, like I say, The Conjuring is a genuinely scary film because it has atmosphere, it builds up. It's not just a bunch of stupid fucking teenagers repeated ad fucking nauseum going around like suddenly jumping out and going like to each other to scare them and you, and then like, oh well, now you'll see the ghost kill go up to the camera every 5 seconds. It's like, for fuck's sake. It's not a Jack in a Box where you piss off.
I mean, there's been a lot of films that are like, was it Sinister? I haven't seen the second one. The first one, I kind of like the first one for bits, but it was again too many of those jump scares, too many cliches. And guess how it ends? It shows like an attic, And then this demon goes, ah, in front of the camera, and it cuts to credits. And, the usual kind of cliche thing that they always do.
It's like, look, anybody can do that to anybody. You can just jump out and be like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll scare them, That
was a good impression.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what I like about this. And these films, both The Conjuring, are directed by sorry, bad throat there, by James Wan, who is directing Aquaman as well. But he's a really good horror film director. I think he actually did Sinister. Actually, I'm kind of slating that film and praising James Wan. A bit of a contradiction there because he directed that, I think. But yeah, he's a pretty good horror film
director doesn't always have supreme authority over everything, because you do have various things where like the studio's mandated something and gone, oh no, it needed this, and the person's been overridden, like Suicide Squad, for example.
Yeah, plenty of. I'm going to say there's plenty of examples of that. But
so like I say, I don't know. Personally, I have no idea who directed Sinister, but I could say, from the strength of these two films, he's pretty good at this.
I think what the ones he did. He might have done. I don't think he did Insidious, or did he? I should check that out. But you should check out who directed it. You haven't seen those films, Insidious, have you?
No.
There's 3 of them. They're quite good, actually. Not as good as, in my opinion, not as good as The Conjuring 2, but better than The Conjuring 1. I'd say kind of in between. And they've got the same guy. Is it Patrick Wilson that plays Ed Warren? I think he's called Patrick Wilson. Yeah.
I thought it was Channing Tatum.
No, you get your names wrong.
I'm apparently obsessed with Channing Tatum. I don't know how this happened. But...
He's bringing his name into films when he's not even in the film. He's in Suicide Squad, apparently. I must have missed that.
Damn it, what the hell?
Like, Jared Leto was apparently in Suicide Squad. I think I blinked and missed that as well. Anyway,
well, no, I think he was actually in there.
Okay, alright. Anyway, so, so in the kind of context of modern horror films, this is quite a good one. There's not really a lot of good horror films.
I would say this is my favourite. I mean, in some way that's why I'm probably going to let you have most of the, talking about your favourite horror films, because this would be mine, to be fair. Yeah, because, somebody asked me recently for, recommendations of, scary films, and it's there's lots of different scary films. There's, sort of alien-style ones. I don't mean alien as in Ridley Scott Alien, I just mean, any alien films. You've got sort of really older ones, you've got, more recent ones. Then you've got your slasher films and you've got your sort of paranormal ones. There's lots of different kinds. If I was going to recommend some, really, the sort of the creepy paranormal ones like this, it'd be your sort of John Carpenter films, maybe Prince of Darkness or something. But one that... Okay, what the hell was it with that Strange But True and using
music from The Thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's what do you guys just have a CD of John Carpenter's score that you're playing over this Enfield recreation?
Yeah, if you watch that Strange But True thing on YouTube, it's got some music from John Carpenter films. And
we would show you clips, but we would get flagged.
Even though it's already on YouTube. And it's got a sort
of... Well,
not
meant for the music.
Yeah. But another good John Carpenter one is, I say, a lot of people haven't even heard of, Village of the Damned, or Village of the Damned, I think it's called. I know there's an original, it was Village and Children of the Damned. I think it was Village of the Damned. But the basic premise is there's a town, a lot of people are in this sort of town event, and everybody passes out, and then they wake up hours later, and all the women are pregnant. It's that is awesome, There's more to it than that, but if you haven't seen that film, check it out. That's one I'd recommend. What kind of films? What films have really shit you up anyway? Or not just recently, but maybe.
Yeah, I remember getting kind of shit up by the remake of The Grudge. Now, I've never seen the original Grudge, which I'm told is a lot better.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
But I think I just kind of like that kind of ghost horror. It just kind of resonates with me for some reason.
And The Ring, there's a Grudge in The Ring I always get referred to. I've never seen it, I really should watch it.
I've never seen The Ring. Like I say, I've only seen The Grudge, and I've only seen the remake of it.
Yeah.
I've not seen the original. Apparently, Japanese people do fucked up horror really well.
Yeah.
Because I'm told, the English remake of The Grudge is shit compared to the original. Yeah. I'm well, considering how much the remake shit me up, I don't think I really need to watch the original.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's usually sort of ones that are done with a sort of psychological twist to them as well. I do like the sort of alien films, like Alien or The Thing. We've talked about found footage before. I kind of like found footage stuff, but we've talked about that elsewhere. But yeah, a lot of films like The Exorcist and things like that are kind of boring, to be honest. So to me, I'm kind of a hard sell for a lot of these kind of films. But John Carpenter films, stuff like that, you've got your sort of slasher films. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I've got kind of nostalgia for Nightmare on Elm Street, but I suppose it is scary. And it's not scary because it's like gory and disgusting, like some of the things that happen in it, but it is actually quite scary, and the concept's pretty cool as well. Halloween, the original, again, is a John Carpenter one, so that's really like well done, and it's kind of creepy. But a lot of horror films become a bit kind of like not gratuitous, but obligatory when it comes to a lot of the cliches. It was like they were obliged to do all the same cliches because it's tradition. So you had films like Scream that were kind of taking the piss out of the genre, and then you had all these other films that were just doing the same thing. And even Halloween films, they started to do Halloween sequels, like ridiculous ones like H2O. That was so we watched like
I can remember like we were really looking forward to that and thinking like, oh man, Halloween, it's going to be freaking awesome. It was shit.
I think you just got to sleep, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the ghosts.
Yeah. But like I say, so the genre itself just become like a really bad joke kind of thing. That's it, don't worry about it. And we tend to find that that's the case with a lot of like modern horror films. So point of bringing this up is films like The Conjuring, kind of like a...
Yeah, it was one of the ways it was described to me when it was first coming out, that like The Conjuring was like a big throwback to kind of certain classic ways of like making horror films. And I think they have a point with it, to be honest. It's very kind of, creepy ghost story. It's got build-up, it's got scares. It's got jump scares to a degree, but they're not the traditional jump scares you've seen in everything else.
It's like a haunted house, a classic haunted house kind of film. So you'd think...
Which, like I say, is what I really enjoy, to be honest. Which I think is why these films resonate with me like they do.
And there's a lot of other films. There's some sort of scary films that were kind of more, had like an angle of comedy to it, like Fright Night and stuff like that. They're not really scary, but I like The Lost Boys as well. I mean, that's got some scary bits in it.
Also, there is a thing with films where the scare can be awfully conditional. Like, sometimes they don't age that well. I mean, again, going back to Ghostwatch is a good example of that. It worked when it was shown and how it was shown and the age it was shown in. It's less effective watching it now than it was to watch it live on the night back then, when you weren't, even if you were sure it was fake, you weren't 100% sure. So
it wasn't really found footage stuff. Well, it wasn't found footage technically, but it was like supposed to be real, sold as real.
And I can think of other. I mean, I remember as a kid seeing a film that was something like Attack of the Snow Beast. It is an awful film. It is not even remotely scary. It is laughably bad. But I remember watching that, and it scared me and my sister so bad we could not sleep in our own beds. We were completely shit scared by it. Because at the time, we weren't used to anything better than that. We were in a perfect kind of like setting for it and stuff. And it just worked. I watched it again like 10, 15 years later, and I was like, how the hell was I scared of this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is awful.
That's the thing. It depends when these things came out as well, because a lot of the things, it's like Blair Witch, really. I mean, it still stands up as quite a good film, but it's not aged terribly well. It's well respected, and they did a sequel recently, and it was all right, but it was full of jump scares, like
and again,
stupid
not
jump scares.
Jump scares that are actually scares, but just suddenly like jumping out of the bushes and like, "Hey guys, I'm back. Did you miss me?" It's like,
but it's like loud, done loud and startling.
Well, I'm just not shouting at people when they're watching our video, but you know what I mean. And it's just like, it takes you out of the like reality of it. 'Cause it's like, if you were in that sort of situation, you wouldn't do that.
It's the
and if you did do that, you would get your ass kicked by the people with you. I mean, just imagine your group of friends. If you were in a scary situation and like genuinely scary shit was happening and you were in a possibly life-threatening situation and one of your friends suddenly jumped out and tried deliberately to scare you, you would deck the son of a bitch. There won't be any of this, "Oh, you got us, alright, let's get on with it." You'd be like, "You fucking prick." Are you kidding?
We do it to each other all the time.
Yeah. But then again, we're not in a genuinely scary situation.
I don't know, there was that time with Topher when
No.
But, so yeah, but I think we can kind of leave it there, really. We're kind of rambling on about scary films and stuff, but...
Yeah, I mean, my last word is watch them. They're good. 1 and 2, I'd recommend them both.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't resonate with you the same way they do with us, but I really like this kind of like supernatural horror, so sue me.
Cool. Right, we'll leave it there. I don't know if we've got any more Halloween videos coming up, so I'll probably just post this on Halloween night itself. So if not, there might be another video following that. But anyway, we'll let you know. So follow us on Brand X Reviews. There's some information coming up on how you can do that. But for now, happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just so you know, for more news, reviews and retrospectives, you can like our page on Facebook, simply called Brand X Reviews. But as well as that, you can also subscribe to us on YouTube via this video. You can also bookmark our website, which is brandxreviews.com, which is pretty much a central hub for everything that I've just mentioned. So check that out and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.